KFMC Boston.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. It's up for
The
all
word.
of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever.
I think that went through.
Everybody get exposed. Pray for all my foes.
All right, everybody. That's right, we're here. Saturday, December 28th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Ready to rock and roll, ready to go. I feel like that Elvis Presley song, "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog." Don't know why I do, but I do. All right, let's just start this off with prayer. Lord, Father God, Lord Jesus Christ, Lord Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity, thank you for blessing us with another day. It's not 1934, it's 1944 or 1954. 64 is 2024. This country has seen a lot. We're moving forward. I hope everybody learns to pray this year. Those of you who lost the election, you're going to learn to pray. And those of you who won the election, keep praying. Let's keep this thing going. Let's make America strong. Let's work together, live together, and love together. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. No amen back there, Kevin?
Amen.
Okay. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me get this thing straight. We got Today in History. Let's start it off. Today in History. That is unbelievable. Gotta love that. Today in history, everybody. On December 28th, 1944. You wonder why I said 1944. Montreal right winger Maurice "Rocket" Richard becomes the first player in NHL history to score 8 points in one game, with five goals and 3 assists in the Canadiens' 9-1 win over the Detroit Red Wings. My question is, for a T-shirt, for a Celtics collage, for a mug, yes, for a Amazing Grace Sports Network mug, is who holds the record for the most points in a game and against what team? You're going to be surprised for that one. And today in history, in 2008, the Detroit Lions, yes, those guys that are leading the league and just killing everybody, crashed to a 31-21 loss to the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. They were the first team in NFL history, got to have a first, to go winless in this 16-game season. Now, my question is, who was the 10th player picked in the 2008 draft? Not that it's correlated, but it's the year 2008. That answer is going to surprise you also, especially if you're in the New England area. Who was the 10th player picked in the 2008 NFL draft? All right. Our phone number is 844. Did you want to say something, Kevin?
No, I didn't. I guess I'll give away the answer if I say something.
Don't say anything. Our phone number is 844-249-5247, 844-249-5247. And we have a pair of tickets to give away to the Wasabi Bowl. Yes, because Kevin can't make it, and I might have a hard time making it. So we have 2 tickets, a pair of tickets in very good seats, give away to Wasabi Bowl to anyone who can answer one of those 2 questions, or else give us a question that we can answer, something a little bit interesting. But whatever the case may be, let's make it interesting. We have 2 tickets available to the Wasabi Bowl, where North Carolina is playing. Who are they playing?
UConn, the Huskies.
The Huskies.
So it'll be a good game, 11 o'clock this morning at Fenway. And if you're going to look for Bill Belichick, well, he's not going to be there.
He's not going to be there. We will email you the tickets, and you'll be okay. All right. Now it's time, of course, for that one and only, the man with the mind of steel, Kevin Chrism, with his Bruins, Kevin's Corner on the Bruins. What do we got,
we'll
Kevin?
be brief today. I mean, if anyone watched the game last night in Columbus, you turn it off rather quickly. Bruins losing in Columbus, the Columbus Blue Jackets last night, 6-2. It's pretty unfortunate the way the last 2 games have gone for the Bruins. They had a nice win on Monday night against the Washington Capitals at home 4-1, and they came back and defeated Buffalo as well last Saturday 3-1, and continued Buffalo's losing streak, which, by the way,
Buffalo's, it's like the worst team in the league.
Yeah, well, at this point they are, and the Sabres won 2 games in a row after losing the Bruins, so at least the Bruins weren't the team that
they got beat.
Yeah, exactly right. But tough one last night against Swayman was not net. Jonas Korpisalo, who's played pretty well as the backup goaltender this year. Not last night. The Bruins outshot 33-26, and just one of those off nights, I guess, for the Bruins. And really, they can't afford much more off nights like this going forward, especially against teams that are not in the playoff hunt right now. Columbus sitting right now sort of on the bubble at 15-15. They're actually 2 points out of a wild card spot right behind the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Ottawa Senators right now. But even still, they can't afford games like that.
They're still in third place, no matter what, in the Atlantic
They
Division.
still are in third place, and
for the last
I think
2 months,
we'll be talking about them being in third place for a long time. But hey, third place still gets you in the playoffs.
That's all they want.
And a first-round exit, I think, against Florida Panthers. But anyway, we got Wayne in the line, and then we'll go back to the Bruins, right?
Okay,
Does that sound good?
What we got?
All right, Wayne. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Wayne?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm glad you guys are talking hockey because we have the World Juniors going on right now.
We do.
And we got a bunch of kids from BU and BC, and
This guy here, how does he know all
Germany
this?
10-4. Yeah, we're doing great. We're playing Latvia today, and they took down a powerhouse in Canada last night. So we have a really good matchup today.
Wow.
Well, whether it's the junior hockey, the F1, Wayne always brings the
New and exciting
the news
things.
of
Right,
sports
right.
that sometimes doesn't get covered by the national media outlets. So,
Or us.
so thank you for that, Wayne. Wayne, how do you feel about the Eagles today at Yankee Stadium?
I like the chances. I really like the chances, and it should be an interesting game today.
We shall see. Kickoff at noontime at Yankee Stadium. First time ever BC playing the Cornhuskers of Nebraska.
I
It'll be a very
want to know,
interesting
Wayne,
matchup.
do you know the answer? Who holds the most points in the NHL?
No, I do not, and I'm on my way to work, so I don't want to ruin it for anyone else. So in case anyone wants to call in and try to win the tickets, but I do not.
Okay. Well, it's no big
Well,
deal. I mean, you won so much stuff. We have to get new merchandise just for you.
Well, I'm trying to be fair with it, so thank you very much, and hopefully Ryan Leonard would get on the scoring sheet today. He didn't score any goals, so he got 2 assists so far. But let's see. This be a good time for them to start putting the puck in the net for us today.
Certainly will be. The World Juniors, of course, U.S. playing Latvia at 3:30 up there in Ottawa, and of course as well Czechia and Kazakhstan. And it's great seeing some of these teams that you don't hear about a lot. Some of these countries that produce some great talent, and Latvia, of course, stunning Canada in a shootout. And the reports are that the Canadians are still in shock up there with that loss to Latvia. Yeah.
You know, what is it, Canadians? They just, since the 50s and 60s, they've just lost the edge when it comes to hockey.
Well, I guess it's the same thing that's going on with basketball with the dream team, and you got Luka Doncic, and you have the European players. So it's a good problem to have that there's parity in the league. So,
right.
People are winning now, and we're not dominating anything. So,
Gosh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I want the Canadians to come back and dominate hockey, and we should dominate basketball and soccer and football and every other sport. The United States. Badminton.
We've done a great job of marketing the thing and growing it. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, USA Hockey has done a great job. There's no doubt about that. And these are the players that are going to be coming up in the next 5 to 10 years that are going to be the talent of the league. And it's great hockey to watch.
Come on, let's push it. Let's get some guys in there.
We have some BC kids, some BU kids. I mean, man, this is going to be a great game today, man. And Sweden, I think, is a team we wish everybody should fear Sweden. They're big, they're strong, they're fast. So
Swedish?
We'll see what happens.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Sweden's been known to produce some good talent in the NHL. And, of course, the Hockey East as well, Wayne, as you know, BCBU just mentioned them, some great talent.
What is going on here?
That has been produced in the NHL out of the Hockey East.
Sweden's kicking the world's. I mean, well, anyway. All right, thank you, Wayne. thank you for. I don't even know what to think anymore. Now I'm thinking about junior hockey. Okay, we'll just move right along. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year to all you guys.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, Wayne.
Happy New Year's, Wayne. Happy New Year.
Okay.
World Junior Hockey.
World Junior Hockey.
Leave it to Wayne.
Unbelievable. I mean,
no, it's great because we wouldn't even talk about that. We have so much to talk about that we can't.
Okay,
we can't squeeze in World Junior Hockey, but it is great talent, and for the future of the NHL.
I think we're still on the Bruins right now, right?
Yeah, just briefly again, losing 6-2 last night on the road against Columbus. They'll play Columbus tonight at home, back at the TD Garden. Jeremy Swayman expected to be in net, and hopefully the Bruins will be able to rebound against the same Columbus Blue Jackets.
Is Linus Ullmark on the Jackets?
No, he's in the Ottawa Senators.
Okay, Senators.
And the Senators right now are sitting in the second wild card right now. They are 8-2 in the last 10 games. They just lost Sunday against the Edmonton Oilers, but they're back tonight in Winnipeg. So tough games for the Oilers, but the Senators. But look out for them. Linus Ullmark playing well with the Ottawa Senators and some good talent.
Vezina Trophy winner.
That's a trophy, yes,
That's
indeed,
right.
And we traded him away. But anyway,
for a lock.
Yeah,
okay, time for my turn.
Go ahead. I don't really have much to say on the Bruins. Hopefully, we'll be able to rebound against the same Columbus Blue Jackets team tonight at home and
stay in third place.
Go forward to the new year on a high note. We'll see.
This time for Clay's Corner on the Celtics here. Now, the Celtics finally won a game. They beat the Dickens out of the Indiana Pacers, a very good team. They did at the Boston Garden, so that made it a little bit easier. But they had lost 2 in a row, right?
That they did.
Yeah, they lost 2 in a row. But I want to reassure everybody, the Celtics needed that. They needed to lose 2 in a row, probably even 3 in a row, because they need to get back on track. They need to get their minds right. They need to understand what they're there for. And a little humiliation does that. There's an old saying, I never learned anything from somebody who agreed with me. I learned a lot from people who disagree with me. Sometimes I learned that I'm absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that it's the friction. It's the friction you need in order to go forward in life. So the Celtics needed that. Now, I want to remind everybody, as bad as it is that they lost 2 in a row, the Celtics still lead the league. They're number 1 in 3-point attempts. Right?
Not shocking.
But they're also number 1 in 3-point shots made. They're first in defensive rebounds, the first in least amount of turnovers, first in true shooting percentage, and in block shots. And if that wasn't enough, there's more. They're number 2. They're second when it comes to 3-point percentage, personal fouls given, total rebounds, and points scored. So they're first and second in a lot of categories. They're right up there. And they needed this. And they're doing this again without Kristaps Porzingis, who was out injured again. And I believe Jrue Holiday, who's out injured. But it's going to give Peyton Pritchard a chance to get in there and do more work. He's going to find out what happens when they double team him like they've been doing the past 3 games. He's found out that what happens when they're playing him to shoot the shot and then they have a second man coming over for help. He's getting the star treatment. And it might take him a little while to get used to it. But the more he plays, the easier it's going to become for him to see the adjustments that he needs to make. And he will make these adjustments and he will become even better than he has been early in the year because he knows what to look for. He'll know when to get rid of the ball, which he's doing now. Instead of holding on to the ball and trying to make something happen, he's getting rid of it a lot faster. He's diving in to make a play and then make the pass off. So he's learning all that. He's learning he's got to pass the ball because they're coming to get him. They're not going to give him any more chances to be a hero. He's not going to get that single coverage anymore that he was getting. He's going to get the star treatment. He's going to get double coverage. He's going to get help coverage. They're shifting the coverage to him. So he's going to have to make adjustments. And when he does, just like Jason Tatum did, just like Jaylen Brown did, then good things are going to happen. The other point that I want to make is, and I know I'm not giving you a chance to talk. I'm just running on to mouth here, Kevin.
But it's your time.
I want to say it's about time, Jaylen Brown. It's about time you stepped up and scored 44 points. I believe you're the second highest paid player in the league. Not that that means anything, but it means something in terms of recognition. It means that they thought you were good enough because you got your contract the year before Jason Tatum got his. You were the highest paid player in the league, and you kind of showed it out during the playoffs. Okay, great. But now you got to pick that up. If Tatum's scoring 28 points a game, you should be scoring 27. That's right. You're that good. You really are that good. Okay? And you're going to have to take that mentality. Stop wasting time flexing every time you score or making a face and grimacing every time you don't get a foul. Take the ball to the hoop. Be a different component on the team. Be that guy that's rock steady. Be the guy who's the fire, like Peyton Pritchard, but your type of fire. We know Jason Tatum is the cool guy. He's never going to be that guy on fire. He just has that demeanor. So you're going to have to be that fire guy. But don't do it by flexing and do that. Do it by taking it to the other team and dominating the way you did last night. Don't take no for an answer. Go get them. You got anything you want to add into the?
Well, you rattled off some great stats there. The stat that I look at is the standings, because at the end of the day, you can shoot as many threes as you want, make as many threes as you want, which is surprising to me. I guess when you shoot a lot of threes, you're bound to make some. I guess the way the Celtics have shot so many threes this year, I'm not surprised to hear where they are in that category. It feels every time I turn to the Celtics, they always miss threes. But anyway, looking at the standings, they're 4 back right now of Cleveland. Those 2 losses, Clay, really hurt the Celtics, particularly the one on Christmas night. I mean, against Philly. I mean,
oh gosh.
I think you used the term correctly. I think teams need that humiliation
On
from
Christmas,
here and there.
They needed
on a nationally televised game against a Sixers team that yes is playing better basketball than they did to start the year, still at 11-17.
That's right. Looking to roll over. Just give them a good hard shove and they'll roll right over.
And with the way the East is shaping up this year, that only leaves them a half game out of the 10th seed for the play-in tournament.
11-17, right?
But anyway, 11-17, that's correct. Celtics 4 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers at 27-4. Now, where does Cleveland factor into all those stats you gave out, Clay? Do you have that?
I don't have that.
I'm sure they're right up there.
They've got to be close.
And the Knicks 2 games now behind the Celtics for the 2nd seed.
That's it?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Celtics are 4 back at Cleveland. Knicks are 6, and the Orlando Magic are 9 back. And of course, the Celtics losing to the Magic last week down in Orlando as well.
And they cried their whole game.
Well, yeah.
Cry me a river.
So I don't know, Clay, do you think this team needs any improvement? We talked about a couple of weeks ago how we thought the Celtics, perhaps this team was even better than last year's championship team and maybe even the year prior as well. Do you think this team needs any improvement, a wing, a big man, another person to add to their bench?
They're going to need a big man. They're going to need a big man that they can have come off the bench. Al Horford's getting older. Kristaps cannot stay healthy. They're going to need a big man. They're going to have to package up a bunch of guys and get somebody. I don't know. Wow.
Maybe bring back old friend Daniel Tice down in New Orleans, who's having
Daniel Tice
Pelicans
is not a big
having a
guy.
terrible year. He's a
kind
center.
He's an undersized center. You need somebody who's going to get in there. You're going to have to play against Joel Embiid and Bam Adebayo. These are the guys you're going to have to play in the playoffs. So you're going to need somebody who's got a little bit more. We'll see what happens. I can't name a player out there. Good luck to him. That's what Brad Stevens gets paid for. So hopefully he can make a good decision out there. He's very good at this. Grab somebody off the wire.
Well, here's one player that has been talked about being traded, but Pat Riley came out and said, we're not trading him. And that's Jimmy Butler, who I think wants out of Miami, but at least Pat Riley said not happening.
It couldn't happen to a better guy. A guy who's always whining and crying and, and whimpering and saying, but on the offset says he's a tough guy. But now he's not so tough. He's crying. He wants to get out of Miami. No, I like to see him stay there and be unhappy. Maybe if he's unhappy, he'll play even better for Miami. That's probably the way Pat Riley is thinking. 15-13,
Miami right now sitting at the 6th seed. And, of course, another news out of the NBA. We talked about this off air, but a surprising firing, Clay, in the NBA just quickly. Mike Brown, head coach of the Sacramento Kings, fired after signing an extension in the offseason. Coach of the year a year ago, brought the Kings back to the playoffs for the first time in almost more than a decade. Was fired over the phone after a dismal start to the season for the Kings, 13-18. They lost a couple nights ago against the Pistons in a game they should have won. They lost 5 games in a row. We don't talk a lot about the Sacramento Kings, but a very surprising news. And just goes to show, Clay, we've talked about this before. The best job in the world, I think, is being a fired head coach in any sort of league. Sit at home and get paid all this money. You don't have to deal with the stress.
He signed a 5-year contract for $125 million.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
So he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid a good amount of change to sit at home and comment like we're doing. He's just going to get paid a heck of a lot more.
It's a surprising move, nonetheless, after winning Coach of the Year and, of course, signing that extension.
Look at this. He can go get a commentating job and still get paid from the NBA job and get paid from that. So it's like double dipping. I don't know what to say.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. I think we have a commercial here. We have a
Go ahead.
Dylan's commercial. Let's get our good friends from Dylan's out here. Are you feeling a little achy or sore from the cold weather? Then take a visit to Dylan's Russian Steam Bath. At Dylan's Dry Sauna or Wet Steam Room, You can de-stress, detox, and unwind in style. Plenty of showers are available. A small snack bar, large screen televisions, and comfortable chairs to cool off in during your visits. A variety of oil massages are also available. They have 2 convenient locations, one in Chelsea, the other in Quincy. Go online or call 617-549-3484 for operating times or for more information. That is 617-549-3484. Dylan's Russian Steam Baths, where heat, steam, and water have a therapeutic effect. Bam.
There we go.
There we go.
So Celtics with a big win last night to play Indiana again at home. Day off today, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock at the Garden.
I'm taking the Celtics.
All right, there we go.
I think I also wanted to say this. I looked at the stats here on the Celtics, and I said he should score 26 points a game. He's scoring 25 points a game. So maybe you need to just get the same amount of points as Jason Tatum. Just score 28. The two of you average 28 points a game, and I think we'll be all right. Have Peyton Pritchard coming in average 22, and Derek White 21. That should do it.
Well, maybe if he does that, he'll make an Olympic team.
He'll make it over Tatum.
Yeah.
When you're talking about
White.
Brown,
I'm talking about Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to. If Steve Kerr's the coach. Okay, moving right along. What do we have on our agenda here? Because we're like the fastest 60 minutes going. The Patriots.
Go ahead.
Patriots
first. Okay.
Well, they're definitely in free fall. They have the second pick going, and they're looking to lose against the Chargers tomorrow. Chargers got to have it. Patriots got to have a good loss. And, well, I think the question is, who do you think should go for this fiasco, this debacle that's happening down there in Foxborough at one Patriot place? Who has to go? Is it Mayo, is it Wolf, or is it both?
Well, we don't get paid for our opinions, unfortunately, when it comes to the Patriots, and I think there are definite different opinions out there from many folks out there listening to the show about who they believe should be fired. That being said, I don't see Robert Kraft doing anything to address Elliott Wolf or Gerard Mayo in the offseason, whether they fire Alex Van Pelt, whether they make changes in the coaching staff. I think they'll give Mayo another year. As I said before, I think so long as Mayo continues to get up behind the microphone and throw his coaches and players under the bus, he's going to talk himself out of a job.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
And you never hear from Elliott Wolf. He's the man behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, and the curtain, and the other curtain, and behind the box.
Right. And I tell you one thing, if he does not do anything to address this team, both in the draft and both in the market and the offseason, then he should pack his bags and go home, and Robert Kraft should sell the Patriots if this is the way going forward with the talent you have with Drake May. What is the point of drafting Drake May if you're not going to surround him with talent? We have shown time and time again this season when Drake May has been in the field a glimpse of what this team can do with a great wide receiver, offensive line, whatever it may be. And if they don't take the time, we know they have the money and the draft capital. If they don't take the time to address the team in the offseason, well, they should pack it up. And if you're a season ticket holder, you should bring in your season tickets right to the Kraft front door
and dump them
and go home.
I'm gonna put it this way: if you took Drake May and you put him on the Washington team, you get the same result. I'm serious. You get the same result. And if you took Drake May and you put him on the Denver team, you get the same result, if not better.
With the way Washington and Denver is playing this year,
right? Okay. With the team that they have around them, if not better.
Yeah, I mean, each coach is different in system, but
if you put them with those coaches, take Drake May and put him in those.
There's talent there. There's legitimate talent there.
There's legitimate talent there, and also they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm saying that Jaden Daniels, and Drake May are interchangeable. I hate to tell everybody that you're not going to win with Jaden Daniels here. If you switch them out, Jaden Daniels, he might even be out injured by now because he's going to try to run the ball a lot more. So it's not going to change with the quarterback. You have the same amount of talent at quarterback in Denver and in Washington. The problem is everything around it. And that includes the coach and the general manager. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit older than you, so I'm not as forgiving. I don't think I have a whole lot of time left to be patient about Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo. I want both of them gone. Yeah, definitely, because Gerard Mayo's in over his head, okay, but Elliott Wolf, he's not even trying. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, his big move this week was to activate Caden Wallace off the injured reserve. Give me a break. The guy couldn't block when he was out there. You're going to activate him off the injured reserve and behave as if that's going to be a solution to what's happening out there for Drake May. Give me a break. It's not happening. It's ridiculous. It's insanity getting repeated over and over and over. And the poor kid has to run for his life each week. As if, let him loose, and then the hounds are after him. What is he, escaped convict? He's running like an escaped convict out there. The hounds are after him. Woo, poor kid. But yeah, definitely. But I'm kind of reactive. I'm one of those people that react.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell.
And so I want something immediately done, and I think that might be. But and I said this about Bill Belichick, and I would have liked to have seen him at the Wasabi Bowl if I was going. Hey, listen, we still have those tickets out there. 844-249-5247. 844-249-5247. If you want to go see the Wasabi Bowl, so I could apologize to him and say, "Listen, you were a great coach, but shouldn't have let Tom Brady go."
Were you going to go up to his box, or how was that going to work?
I was definitely going up to the box.
He
No one's
invited
going to
you
stop
up.
me.
Okay. All right.
I was going to go right up there. Just anybody got in my way, I was going to hammer them and throw them out the way and say, "Listen, I need to talk to Bill right now. This is of vital importance. National security."
I'm sure they would have let you right in. No questions.
I'm going to say, I'll just pull a John Kerry. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am? Yeah, that would have got me far. Yeah, got me. Let me see. Turned into my car for a lease. I'm going to go down there and say, "Do you know who I am?" They're going to say, "Yeah, you're the guy who's going to pay for the next lease you have on the car."
Yeah,
there you go.
So the Patriots right now projected to pick number 2 in the 2025 NFL draft, and of course, a lot of people are predicting in the mock drafts. They never turn out to be true. To an extent, maybe the first 10 or so, or you get 7 out of the 10 right, but most of the times it's really conjecture. The consensus seems to be the Patriots drafting Travis Hunter from Colorado.
They would be that stupid. Yeah, they would be that stupid. They need a lot more than Travis Hunter.
Well, they need a strong offensive lineman. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but they'll do something. They'll do something ridiculous like that. They'll draft Travis and stick him out there and say, "Hey, listen, we've improved our team, and what they should do is trade that pick for 4 or 5, 6 draft picks in between 3 this year and 2 next year and 1 the year after that, and just stock up on these guys and get some offensive linemen and some defensive guys."
So you don't think the Patriots should draft number 2?
Heck no. They have not shown that they know what they're doing. If you're going to draft number 2, what are you going to? So you're going to go out there and get this guy, okay? But you still haven't shored up the defensive line. You're going to need a safety. Oh gosh. You still got your offensive line out there. That's gashed up. So without that, what you got?
I know. Well, we'll see what happens. I know Elliot Wolf is not listening to us. That's for sure.
He should be.
Still a long way to go in the draft order, too.
Robert Kraft should call 844-249-5247 and let us know when we should audition for that general manager job, which on the days that are coming up. What time do we want to come in? What day do we want to come in? Because based on what I've seen, somebody's got to do something around there, and I don't see anything happening, and we would be the people that do it. We have our finger on the pulse. We care about the team. We're passionate. We're emotional. We're very heartfelt about it. And for all the fans in New England who deserve something better. And to go from 20 years of dominance to what is it? 5 wins, 4 wins, 3 wins. So what's trending down? It's trending down, right?
Yeah. So they have it, Clay, not sold on the number 2 pick nor Travis Hunter. So
heck no.
We'll see.
Heck no. That'd be the worst thing they could do.
Yeah.
They should listen, we go all the way back to, if you're going to draft Drake May, why would you draft Joe Milton? Use that for an offensive lineman. Trade it, do something, but you don't draft. They don't show that they have any idea of what to do with draft or draft capital at all. And if you were going to draft Drake May, you needed to surround him with offensive linemen and get him in here and have a team that was going to be solid, fundamentally solid, which they're not. You can't run the ball all the time, but you can't have receivers who drop the ball. And you got receivers out there who don't know how to run routes, and when they actually get open, they drop the ball. Offensive linemen who can't block. I don't know. So you can't start with not with the defensive back. No,
right.
Those Bill Belichick proved that you can get by with pretty decent ones if you have a good scheme.
Well, we'll see. 2 games left this regular season.
Two
Kick
games.
off 1 o'clock this afternoon. Saturday football, 3 games. We'll get to the picks in a little bit, but
They flexed them.
Patriots were flexed. Chargers trying to get in the playoffs.
They're going to get in.
As are the Denver Broncos this
If
afternoon.
the Chargers win today, they're in the playoffs.
That's correct. With Denver as well. They beat
So
Cincinnati.
that's basically a guarantee they're playing the Patriots.
Nothing's a guarantee in life, Clay, but we'll see.
You wouldn't
I will say the Patriots had a good first half against Buffalo last week. If many of us watched the game, we knew what was going to happen afterwards. But there's no way they were going to win that game.
Anybody want to call in and debate that? I mean, yeah, they had a good first quarter. I think. I don't know about the first half.
First quarter, at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get lost. You have to shut out the game sometimes.
What we got here? We got a commercial coming up.
All right, let's say hello to our friends at Oyama Investments here, one of our great sponsors here on the show. We want to thank them and Dylan's as well for helping us out, keeping us on the air each and every week as you, the listeners, are as well. If you're looking for a smart investment, if you're searching for a place to call home, well, welcome to Oyama Investments Unlimited, where your dreams find a foundation. They're more than just real estate. Trusted partner in building a secure future. Whether you're investing in a property that'll grow with you, purchasing a dream home, they do make the process easy for you, transparent and rewarding as well. They specialize in finding properties that align perfectly with your goals. Imagine yourself owning a piece of the future, whether it be a luxury apartment, a commercial space, or a family home in the perfect neighborhood. And if you're new to real estate investments, well, don't worry. They're here every step of the way, helping you make informed choices with confidence. With real estate prices rising, it's never been a better time to invest. You're ready to see your dreams come to life? Visit oyamainvestments.com, 617-221-8881 today, where your vision becomes a reality. That's our good friends at Oyama Investments. There we go.
There we go.
Very nice.
That's what you get, Kevin. You get an applause because you were fantastic.
Well, thank you, Clay. I try.
The mind of steel here.
I try.
College football. We haven't touched upon that.
Yes.
Number 3 Boise State is going to take on number 6 Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona. Now, there's a Heisman Trophy person there. Ashton Ginty. I want to know if Ashton Ginty is going to break the rushing record held by Barry Sanders. But first, we got to worry about if they're going to beat Penn State, which I seriously doubt. I don't think they're going to beat Penn State. I think Penn State is going to house them pretty much, but we'll find out. So that's the Fiesta Bowl, number 3 Boise State at number 6 Penn State. And then we also have number 4, well, the next day, Arizona State is going to go against Texas in the Peach Bowl.
Right.
In the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta.
Clay's favorite city.
It's a bum city. Don't go there. Don't go downtown, anybody. Don't go downtown. Look, you don't want to stay downtown if you're looking for a hotel spot. No, don't go downtown. I'm taking the Texas on that one. So I'm taking Penn State and Texas.
So the game, Penn State, Boise State, is going to be a very interesting game. You know, Boise State's always been in it. You know, whether it's in the college football playoff or the high-profile bowl games. You know, but you got to look. You mentioned Ashton Ginty, tremendous talent, and a lot of people argue he should have won the Heisman.
Should have won the Heisman.
But you got to look at the schedules, Clay, throughout the regular season. The Mountain West Conference, no disrespect to Boise State. I've always enjoyed watching them, 12-1 this year. But you got to look at who they played throughout the year. Teams like Oregon State, Wyoming, San Jose State, Nevada, San Diego State, Hawaii, Utah State. A lot of teams with losing records, Clay.
Well, that'll get you there.
That'll get you here because you were the highest-ranked team out of your conference.
Yeah.
And I think Penn State is going to have no problem against Boise State. I think they may have a little bit of trouble on Ashton Ginty, but James Franklin, the head coach of Penn State, has been criticized a lot, saying the Nittany Lions haven't showed up in big games. Well, they're here now, and I think they had a nice win last week, and I think they're going to against SMU, crushed them. And I think that goes to show, should have SMU been in the playoff as opposed to, Alabama or South Carolina or Ole Miss even. But that being said, I think Penn State beats Boise State. And the team that's very interesting to me, you just mentioned Texas and Arizona State, Clay. Arizona State, not one person, pundits, whoever, had Arizona State going anywhere this year. In July of this year, they released the preliminary polls to start the year for standings. And in the Big 12, Arizona State projected to finish last in the Big 12. They were
Wow.
3-9 last year. The way they've been able to play this year and winning the Big 12, tremendous talent in Arizona State, the Sun Devils, and not one person expected them to be where they are today. That being said, I think Texas is going to roll over Arizona State.
Which you're agreeing with me.
Favored by 13
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
But you got to love a Cinderella story nonetheless.
All that buildup, all that hype. And then
I was just setting the table and then flipping the table over.
with both hands.
Exactly right. Let me deal with this. Someone trying to call in. But
Okay.
Ohio State, Oregon, a great game as well.
Well, let me cover that. You got number 8, Ohio State, going to number 1, Oregon. Number 1, Oregon. Oregon has been leading from pole to pole. Well, that's what pole to pole means all season. Who can win this? Now, Oregon State actually defeated Ohio State earlier in the season. So Ohio State's looking for revenge, and I'm going to go with Ohio State.
Really? Over Oregon?
Yes, and
Interesting.
it's being played in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl.
Because this is the Rose Bowl. I believe that Ohio State's going to make it happen.
A lot of people talked about Ryan Day. Is he up for the job? Is enough? And I think it was a huge statement win over Tennessee last week in that game. And Oregon 13-0, the only team in the college football playoff to be undefeated this season.
Yes,
Ohio State favored in this game by 2.5. People say Oregon a little overrated. They had some good wins this year, of course, against Ohio State in a very close game early this year. And I'm going to take Ohio State as well. I'll give Ryan Day, the local guy, another chance. And, he's been dogged because he hasn't beat Michigan in a while and, hasn't been able to get Ohio State. He's gotten Ohio State to this point, but never can get to the next step. And that's, of course, winning a college football championship. But
we will see what
I think they'll take care of Oregon in a good game.
Now, in the last game,
Notre Dame and Georgia down there, the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Notre Dame beating Indiana last Friday night, and Indiana coach, of course, forcing himself to eat crow after all the things he said about putting Indiana in there. Georgia, of course, without Carson Beck.
And his Lamborghini. Yeah,
Georgia favored by 2. They've been in this position before. Notre Dame, I think, it's going to be a good game. I think it's not going to be a huge scoring game. The spread's 44.5. It's going to be a low-scoring game down there in New Orleans, I think. I'm going to take Notre Dame in an upset against Georgia.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
was taking Notre Dame also.
Okay.
So
we're
I thought I was going to get you on this one.
We are agreeing on all these things. It's a rarity here.
We never agree. We're
I
like
know we
the
don't.
odd couple.
But I think a lot of people are expecting, it'll be Georgia, Ohio State again in the playoff, and I think Notre Dame, the way they have faced, when they lost to Northern Illinois this year, a lot of people thought the sky was falling in South Bend, and a lot of people didn't know was Marcus Freeman the right coach, where's his team going to go, and they've proven themselves right where they should be, and I think Notre Dame is going to take care of Georgia in a good game down there on New Year's.
It's going to be interesting.
Day, night.
I would like to see that happen.
That
and we will
sense.
see.
New Year's Day night. That makes sense, right?
All right. We need to get on to our review.
Go ahead.
Our review of what happened last week. I went 11-4.
So did I.
It was terrible. It was terrible. I should have went at the very least 13-2.
Well, you would have been 10-5 had you taken Pittsburgh. I know you took some flack from that.
I would never take Pittsburgh if I could. Well,
you did, and then you said, no, I'm taking Baltimore.
That's right. Because there was a Pittsburgh fan who emailed me and said, I need to take Pittsburgh until Baltimore proves they can win. But I also remembered he was talking about at home. We're going to Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore. Sorry, over Pittsburgh. Because Russell Wilson is a bust. I hate to break it to everybody. He's a fraud. I call him Russell the Fraud Wilson. He turned the ball over in a running play last week, and then that caused that loss. But also he did it this week on Wednesday, on Christmas Day when they played Kansas City. He was making some strange, turnaround moves he likes to make, and he left the ball. He turned around, slipped, and left the ball on the ground. It was recovered for a fumble. So I don't believe that. I want to hear from all the Pittsburgh fans. Yes, you Pittsburgh fans who thought you were getting a steal in Russell Wilson, saying that he was such a great deal that he's much better than Justin Fields. Now that you've lost 3 in a row in 4 of your last 6, I won that game, and so I'm happy about it. Then Houston and KC, Patrick Mahomes dominant. He's getting his weapons back. Hollywood Brown, whatever. So those were the first 2 games of last week, and I won them both.
Pittsburgh's still in a playoff spot. Of course, they clinched the playoff spot of the division. Now it's going to come down, I think, to the last game of the year with the Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens right now back in hold of the AFC North and the number 3 seed. Steelers projected to face the Houston Texans. The season end today, and the Ravens facing the LA Chargers, with the Bills facing the Denver Broncos. So still a long way to go here with 2 games,
to go.
left to
Not
be
too
played.
long to go.
In terms of the standings, in terms of where the standings are. I mean, I think with the AFC, at least, I think you have teams right now, all the teams that are projected to make the playoffs, I expect them to all to get in. I don't see how for Cincinnati to get in and Indianapolis, Miami, basically they have to have all those teams have to win out, and then, of course, the Chargers and the Broncos lose. Then it gets funky with the strength of schedule, with things like that. So I would expect, of course, the Chargers to win today. When we get to the picks, I got a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to take Denver, but I'll get into that a little bit today.
What are the 4 losses that you had? What are the 4 losses?
The 4 losses of last week.
Last week.
Oh, we have to go back and look at this. All right.
I'll go through it. I mean, New York Giants played Atlanta. That was a win. I think we both.
We don't have to go. So the losses were Philly losing to Washington.
Washington. We both took Washington.
Jalen Hurts.
We both
Jalen Hurts went down in that game.
Got injured, concussed.
Yeah, I took the Jaguars to beat the Raiders.
I did too.
Given how
we're both there.
The Raiders had the number 1 pick, and now winning that game, Clay. Now they dropped to the 6th overall pick.
How about Arizona and Carolina? I took
Arizona.
So we both had that one. Tampa Bay and Dallas. So I think we got all the 4 correct. We were identical.
Well,
we were identical.
Correct.
And the 4 wrong.
Correct.
But who would Cooper Rush? Dallas.
It's a brutal.
You don't believe in them. I do.
Yeah, well, I think you may be the only one. That was a brutal loss for Tampa Bay last week, and now the fate is out of their hands for the playoffs. They have to win out and have Atlanta lose, because remember, Atlanta owns a tiebreaker over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've beaten Tampa Bay twice this year already, and that was, of course, with Kirk Cousins. Now Michael Penix Jr. in a huge Sunday night game against Washington this week, and Tampa Bay has Carolina as well. So huge implications in the NFC South, and as always, it's going to come down to the final game of the year in one of the worst divisions.
What did you think about that Philadelphia-Washington game? It proved to me that Jaden Daniels is a heck of a quarterback.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And I think in terms of if Jalen Hurts was still out there, I think Philly would have won that game.
Yeah.
But you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Jaden Daniels, incredible. And what Washington has been able to do this year, and you know, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, if you're a even maybe silently on the Bears personnel, you got to wonder, man, if we had drafted Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams, would they have been different in Chicago?
It's the organization. It's the organization. You're not going to get much out of a quarterback unless they put somebody around him, and I don't see that happening. You can put receivers and things around, but you can't expect. With Jaden Daniels gets biased that he runs a lot, so he does, and he makes quick decisions, pre-read decisions. He doesn't go back there and try to read the defense once he gets the ball in his hand, but he pre-reads when he runs a running back up to the line. Who's covering him? Is it a safety or is it a linebacker? If that safety has to cover somebody else, he puts a speedy guy out there. Safety can't cover that guy. He reads that. He's going to that speedy guy. He's going to go to that running back if his linebacker's covering him. So he makes pre-reads like that, and he makes very good decisions on that part. Now, is that going to change if he goes to the Bears? I'm not too sure. Okay? They're a tough organization. I'm sure that was worked with him when he went to Washington. That's one of the things they worked on. But they could work on the same thing with Caleb Williams, but they don't. So, no, I believe a lot more has to do with organization than just the individual talent of the player. We'll see.
We'll see. And Pete Carroll wants back in the league, by the way. Go coach the Bears. See what happens.
Don't go to coach the Bears, Pete. Leave the Bears alone. Stay away from the Bears.
All right.
Anything else stand out about
last week? Well, some teams were eliminated. Of course, we had the Cowboys eliminated, the Cardinals losing to the Panthers. They were eliminated. The San Francisco 49ers eliminated after going to the Super Bowl last year for the NFC.
It could happen.
Just some surprising losses last week in the NFL, particularly in that Carolina game. I know, Clay, you've dogged me before about Bryce Young as your guy. I mean, he's played better football. There's no doubt about it. And they've had some close losses. And beating Arizona last week, they're going to get a high draft pick. And if they continue to play like they are, they may lose out, and that's fine. If you're a Panthers fan, you probably want that to happen. But you're playing better football, and that's encouraging for the Carolina Panthers.
It took a year. But Bryce Young is looking good. He's looking a lot better. He has good receivers in Thielen and Coker. And
a great running back, too, in Hubbard there.
That guy came from nowhere.
I know.
I had him in my fantasy football, and he just completely, bundled me. I just had to get rid of him. He wasn't doing anything,
Well,
but now
not anymore.
Now the guy that I lost to, I scored over 300 points in last week's fantasy football, and I lost. I mean, what kind of league is that? It's a tough league. But anyway, the guy I lost to because he had Chuba Hubbard. Is it Chuba?
Chuba. Yep.
Chuba.
Alrighty then. Why don't we talk about Week 17? We got 10 minutes to go here on the show. Clay and I both 11-4 last week. Let's see if we can do a little bit better here in Week 17. Three games today. Of course, we don't pick the Thursday game, and thank goodness we didn't take the Thursday game. If you watched that game on Thursday night, I'm sure you did. Shut it off. 6-3. The Seahawks beating the aforementioned Chicago Bears in a brutal way to close out Thursday night football this year. And
but how about those Christmas games with Kansas City?
Yes. Oh, of course, the Wednesday games as well. Kansas City, Pittsburgh. That was a big win for the Chiefs. Their biggest win this year. Finally, a game and more than 2 touchdowns.
Do not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. And of course, Baltimore beating up on Houston. I think whoever draws Houston in the playoffs, and I know Pittsburgh, whether it be Pittsburgh or Baltimore, lucky them, because I think Houston is not a very good football team, and I think they're lucky they play in such a horrible division.
Who was the coach of the
South.
year last year in the NFL? Was it
DeMeco Ryans?
Yeah.
Was it?
And now he looks like, he can't control his team. He looks terrible. The team looks terrible, and he's the head of it. So if you're going to take all the credit, then you got to start taking the blame. Something's going wrong there in Houston, and it's starting at the top.
Kevin Stefanski won the Coach of the Year last year.
Well, I was wrong.
But it was close, though. I'm surprised Stefanski. Well, anyway.
Yeah. What team?
The Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
Where is he now?
He's still the head coach of Cleveland Browns.
Same thing.
Yeah. Dealing with Deshaun Watson. But anyway, and Jameis Winston. Tough year for Cleveland. But let's talk about these games. Here we go.
Here we go.
Patriots, the first one, of course, we talked about them. Chargers coming to town. They're favored by 6. We'll take the Chargers easily. Trying to get in the playoffs. So win will get them in for Jim Harbaugh. And a good first season with Justin Herbert. I take the Chargers over the Patriots.
I'm taking the Chargers
today.
They're favored by 6. And the Patriots need to lose this badly as much as the Chargers need to win it.
Indeed.
The next one, we have Denver going to Cincinnati.
Same situation.
Bo Nix is hitting the rookie wall, I think. He's going up against Kevin's MVP, Joe Burrow, who's hitting the stride. Cincinnati's favorite. I'm going with Cincinnati on this one.
You're going to take Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati as well. I've been taking them many times before. I've been wrong. Their record at 7-8 indicates. They might. They
might be able to make. The playoffs.
They can make the playoffs, but they have to win and they have to have everybody else lose basically. And it's a tough draw. But I think Denver's going to get in eventually. But I think I'm going to take Bengals at home just because I have to with Joe Burrow.
There you go.
But I think Bo Nix and Sean Payton have put together a nice season in Denver, and I think it'll be nice to see them in the playoffs if they do make it.
They could do it. What do we got?
NFC West implications here. The Cardinals are eliminated from playoff contention. If you're a Seahawks fan, you're going to be rooting hard for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals because the loss will get the Rams in. And, well, I think the Rams are going to take care of the Cardinals. Cardinals don't have much else to play for. The Rams have played great football in the second half of the year, 9-6, looking for number 10. Look out for the Rams going forward in the playoffs here.
I'm taking the Rams. They're favored by 6.5. And I forgot to mention, even though Cincinnati is on the fringe,
right? They
have the third highest ticket price this week at $116. Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati. Don't waste your time going there. It's already sold out.
You get to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's why.
Next game, we have New York traveling to Buffalo. We're talking about the New York Jets. Yes. Yeah, the New York Jets traveling to Buffalo. And it's a 1:00 game. This game is not really that close. Buffalo's favored by 10. I'm taking Buffalo at home.
I'll take Buffalo as well. A huge game for Buffalo, trying to lock down the number 2 seed in the AFC. And I think, of course, the Jets last week with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what happens in the offseason for Aaron and the Jets, but I'll take the Bills here in Week 17.
How do you know when you have a bad team? Is it really? I'm going to tell you.
Jets losing last week.
Well, yeah, the Jets,
home.
Because they have a guy named Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, correct.
Right? He's the running back.
Right.
They got 2 running backs behind him that are better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall is injured, and they keep putting him out there, even though he's injured, because they're paying him more money than the other 2 guys put together. When either one of the other 2 guys are better running backs, hands down, than he is right now.
Well, a lot of you think the Patriots have problems, and the Jets
personnel problems. They
perhaps
have
equally
talent, but
as
they got
worse.
personnel problems. They don't know what they're doing.
They have a 17-year-old kid, Woody Johnson's kid, running the show there.
But
Says
there
a
you
lot.
go. He likes Brees, and Brees is going to play.
All right, 5 minutes. We got to move here.
You got the next one.
All right, let's talk about a really terrible 1 o'clock game. The Raiders travel down to the New Orleans Saints. Raiders winning last week, and they have, with that, losing their number 1 draft pick against an injured Saints team. Let me take the Raiders again for win number 2. 2 in a row against an injured Saints team that doesn't have anything to play for. I'll take the Raiders.
Well, I've learned something from last week, and the Raiders winning because they beat a putrid team,
Jacksonville.
Yeah. And they did it because they were at home. And I learned if you have 2 teams that are playing pretty near the bottom, take the one going at home. I hope that holds out. I'm going with New Orleans.
Okay,
That's
there
what
we go.
differ on.
And a really rotten 1 o'clock game. This is a game that got flexed out of the 4:30 slot into the 1 o'clock.
I'll get this one.
Oh,
Indianapolis goes to New York Giants.
Oh, not that one.
The New York Giants. And this is the number 1 game to go to if you want cheap tickets. You can get it for the lowest $10. Indianapolis is favored by 7.5. I'm taking Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'll take Indy as well. Sort of similar situation with Cincinnati and Miami, both at 7 and 8. The outside looking in for young Anthony Richardson. I think they'll beat the Giants. The Giants, they can't afford to win any games.
No, they have a losing streak of going on 10, so this could make 11.
I think whether it's Anthony Richardson, questionable play in this game, whether it's him or Joe Flacco, I think we haven't talked about Joe in a while, but the Colts take this.
Oh, gosh.
We're looking at different sheets, by the way. You keep jumping around games.
No, there's no way.
Look, anyway, let's go to the game. I
gave you the same sheet.
That's fine. Let's go to the game where we're going to talk about the game that got flexed, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Of course, the Eagles, no Jalen Hurts this week. Kenny Pickett is in. Saquon Barkley about 268 yards away from breaking that rushing record. Let's see if we can do it. And I think the Eagles trying to stay afloat in the chance to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Tough loss last week at home against Washington. I'll take the Eagles against the Cowboys, who have been eliminated from playoff contention.
The Eagles are favored, but this is I'm going on a limb. I like Cooper Rush. I'm going with Dallas. Yes, I am.
Oh,
I know that Philadelphia is favored by 7.5.
Oh, will he ever learn? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I got the next one.
We'll unpack that next week.
Carolina is going to Tampa Bay, and
Wow.
I am taking Tampa Bay.
I'll take Tampa Bay. They need to win. They need to win to win the division. Win out to win the division, rather. And they played Carolina very close last couple weeks ago in Carolina.
Yes,
I'll take Tampa Bay, who now doesn't control their own fate in the NFC South.
Okay.
Tennessee, Jacksonville. We talked about this game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, flip a coin. I'll take Tennessee. I'm not going to take Mac Jones. Mason Rudolph in there. I think this will be a horrible game in the AFC South. I'll take the Titans. There's not much more to say in this game.
Yes, it is. You can get tickets for $22. Okay, that's the
congratulations. Two bad football teams.
I'm taking Jacksonville. And if
Doug Peterson is not fired as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know what they're doing down there.
Jacksonville.
If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I want out.
Jacksonville.
Question is who's going to take Trevor Lawrence. But anyway,
I got Miami going to Cleveland. I am going to take Miami.
Yeah, I'll take Miami as well. Just similar to the Bengals and Colts, 7-8 as well. Miami had a big win at home against the 49ers last week. Well, I think they'll take it. I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson's back in for the Browns. They'll take Miami in this one.
Tickets are only $13, everybody.
Yeah, that's
if you can
sad.
get a trip to Cleveland,
Sad,
I don't know why you would go to Cleveland, but if you can, it's only $13.
Sad state of affairs in Cleveland. Big 4 o'clock game, 4:30 game in Minnesota. Green Bay in Minnesota. Minnesota still has a chance to get the number 1 seed. Detroit has to lose, and they have to win. I wish we had more time to talk about this. Is a great game this week. $284 for tickets as well.
That's right. Woo. Now, Minnesota is selling out. Minnesota has gone from the scrub of the team to a team that's selling out.
Give me Green Bay in an upset.
I'm taking Minnesota.
There we go. That's huge implications for and I think 3 teams play in the NFC North. Packers, Lions, Vikings. Wouldn't be surprised if any of them get to the Super Bowl this year. And Sam Darnold is going to get paid a lot of money in the offseason.
As well he should. And I have the last game on Sunday. Atlanta. It's going into Washington. I'm taking Washington hands down.
I'll take Washington. Jay Daniels at home. Michael Penix Jr. played okay in his first NFL start last week against the Giants. We'll see what we're able to do.
Giants.
Pick number 8 against pick number 2 in last year's draft. And
it's the Giants.
Yeah, but a good start nonetheless. And Atlanta right now back in control of the NFC South.
They won't be
over the tiebreaker.
Not after tomorrow.
But Tampa Bay got to hold on against Carolina. And the Monday night game with the last 50 seconds here on the show, Detroit and San Francisco. 49ers eliminated from playoff contention. Brock Purdy, we'll see what happens to him in the offseason, and Kyle Shanahan, what they change up in San Francisco. But I'll take Detroit, looking to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Lions, roar. Roar, Lions, roar. Go Detroit.
30 seconds.
Okay, the answer to the 2008 draft was the number number 10th pick was Gerard Mayo, picked by the Patriots. And
how long ago that felt.
1 minute. Brian Sitter, I think, is the guy who has the most points. Right?
Right.
So there's the answers, and nobody can come up with it, but we won't let you down. We'll give you the answers before we get off the air.
Happy New Year, my friends. We'll see you in 2025. Go BC, go Bruins, go Celtics.
Go Celtics.
Go Patriots.
Go Bruins. Go. No, don't go Patriots. Keep doing what you're doing.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year's.
Everybody get exposed. Pray for all my foes, but it's the nail roll.